Welcome to Concept with Justin. Today, we're stepping into the realm where landscape design becomes a form of living sculpture. Imagine gardens where meticulously trimmed hedges define soft lines, sculpted topiaries create visual rhythm, and perfect lawns provide a verdant stage. Whether crafting an elegant front yard statement or a serene backyard retreat, these principles of structured design allow us to create outdoor environments that feel balanced, intentional, and exceptionally beautiful. Let's explore how to achieve this sculpted elegance. This level of design often relies on a strong framework, blending hardscape elements with carefully chosen and maintained plantings. One of the key elements offering contained structure within these designs is the use of potted plants. Pots offer versatility, allowing you to experiment with different arrangements and designs. Consider using pots of varying sizes and materials. terracotta for a rustic look, ceramic for a polished finish, or concrete or stone for a modern, minimalist vibe that complements structured landscapes. To add depth and interest, arrange pots strategically, perhaps in formal pairs or minimalist clusters, mixing tall plants like fiddle leaf figs or palms with cascading greenery like ivy or pothos. This layering effect creates a dynamic visual appeal, making even a small corner of your garden come alive with deliberate style. Moving to the flower beds or planting areas, this is where creativity truly shines, even within highly structured concepts. A well-designed planting area can serve as the heart of your garden, showcasing vibrant colors and textures, or emphasizing form and foliage. For a timeless look, opt for a mix of perennials like lavender, hydrangeas, and daylilies. These flowers not only bloom beautifully but also return year after year with minimal maintenance. enhance the visual impact, create layers within the flower bed, taller plants at the back, medium-height flowers or shrubs in the middle, and low-growing ground cover or precisely edged borders at the front. The result is a cascading effect or a defined composition that draws the eye and creates a sense of abundance or clean order. No garden oasis or formally designed landscape is complete without a thoughtfully designed pathway. Pathways are not just functional, they guide visitors through your space and set the tone for the entire landscape. For a sleek and contemporary look, consider using large stone slabs with pebbles placed in between. If you prefer a more rustic charm, opt for irregularly shaped stones or brick pathways. Clean, paved pathways are often essential for navigating structured gardens effectively. To elevate the experience, line your pathway with low-maintenance plants like boxwood or ornamental grasses, often requiring neat trimming to maintain the design's integrity. The front yard, often the first impression of your home, deserves special attention. A neatly trimmed lawn is a classic choice, providing a crucial green canvas, but you can take it a step further by incorporating structured elements like a manicured hedge or decorative fencing. These structural plantings are fundamental to achieving a polished, intentional look. A painted white picket fence, for example, can exude charm, while a dark stained wood or wrought iron fence brings a modern, sophisticated touch. Let's now explore a specific landscape style that masterfully blends structure with soft geometry. The garden defined by perfectly trimmed curved or rounded hedges, punctuated by spherical topiary, and set against an expansive, immaculate lawn, all connected by clean paved pathways. The centerpiece here is the meticulously shaped curved hedge. Its soft form contrasts with typical straight lines, yet the sharp, precise trimming screams structure and care, creating flowing visual boundaries. Scattered strategically within and around these curves, and perhaps dotted on the lawn, are multiple evergreen shrubs pruned into perfect spheres, topiary, of varying sizes. These act as green sculptures, adding three-dimensional interest and reinforcing the garden's formality through the repetition of the spherical shape, creating a distinct rhythm. The vast, perfect lawn serves as the essential green backdrop, highlighting the sculpted plant forms. Finally, clean, modern paved pathways provide clear, functional, and aesthetically pleasing routes through this elegant, flowing yet highly structured space. For a distinctive and modern twist, consider incorporating decorative black stones or uniform light gravel into your landscape. These stones can be used to outline flower beds, create borders along pathways, or even form the base of a minimalist rock garden beneath topiaries. Their sleek appearance contrasts beautifully with the vibrant greens of sculpted plants and the soft hues of flowers, adding a sophisticated edge to your outdoor space. The backyard is where you can truly let your imagination run wild, perhaps offering a different aesthetic from a formal front yard. If space allows, create distinct zones: a lounging area with comfortable outdoor furniture, a dining area under a pergola draped with string lights, and a garden area filled with lush greenery. Adding a water feature, such as a formal fountain or pond, can introduce a calming element to the space, while a fire pit surrounded by cozy seating can make the area inviting year-round. When selecting plants for your oasis or sculpted landscape, think about how they contribute to the overall atmosphere and the specific forms required. For the curved hedge and sphere style, focus on evergreens amenable to tight shearing, like boxwood, yew, or certain privets. Large leafy plants like monstera or banana trees evoke a tropical vibe, while succulents and cacti bring a touch of the desert. For seasonal interest, include a mix of evergreens and deciduous plants. Evergreens provide year-round structure, absolutely essential for maintaining the visual impact of shaped hedges and topiaries, while deciduous trees and shrubs offer changing foliage and blooms that mark the seasons. Vertical gardens are another exciting way to maximize your space while adding a unique aesthetic element. These living walls are perfect for small spaces or urban environments where ground space is limited. A vertical garden can be as simple as a wall-mounted metal grid with hanging pots or as elaborate as a fully integrated system with irrigation. Use a mix of greenery and flowering plants to add texture and variety. Herbs like basil, thyme, and parsley not only look beautiful but are also practical for cooking. Seasonality is another factor to consider when designing your outdoor space. A truly captivating garden evolves throughout the year, offering something beautiful in every season. In spring, focus on blooming bulbs like tulips, daffodils, and hyacinths, perhaps used minimally within the structured beds for pops of color. Summer is the time for vibrant flowers and lush greenery, when the lawn is perfect and the hedges and spheres look sharp. Autumn brings warm hues with chrysanthemums, asters, and ornamental grasses. In winter, evergreens, holly, and plants with interesting bark or berries can keep your garden visually appealing. The strong forms of the curved hedges and spherical topiaries truly define the landscape in winter. For those interested in a low-maintenance garden, there are plenty of options that don't sacrifice beauty. Succulents, cacti, and drought-tolerant plants like agave or yucca require minimal care and water. Ground covers like creeping thyme or clover can replace traditional lawns, reducing the need for mowing. Gravel gardens, which use stones and hardy plants, are another stylish and low-effort option. However, achieving and maintaining the perfection of trimmed hedges and topiaries requires significant and regular maintenance. For those who love to experiment, try incorporating unexpected elements into your garden. A mirror placed strategically can create the illusion of more space. A vintage bicycle with a basket of flowers can become a charming decorative piece. Even an old door or window frame can be repurposed as a quirky garden feature. In formal, sculpted gardens, added elements are usually chosen for their classic form or understated elegance. A garden is not just an aesthetic addition to your home, it is a living, evolving masterpiece. By layering thoughtful design, sustainable practices, and a touch of creativity, and often, dedicated maintenance for structured styles, you can build a space that is not only visually stunning but also deeply functional and meaningful. A garden oasis or sculpted landscape is as much about the experience as it is about the design. Let's begin by talking about enhancing sensory elements, a crucial yet often overlooked aspect of outdoor spaces. A truly immersive garden engages all 5 senses: sight, smell, sound, touch, and taste. For sight, consider playing with contrasts and focal points, or appreciating the visual delight of the flowing curves of trimmed hedges combined with the repetition of perfect spheres. A mix of textures, colors, and shapes can create a visually stimulating environment. For example, juxtapose the delicate, feathery texture of ornamental grasses with the bold, structural lines of succulents or the smooth, dense surfaces of the topiaries and hedges. Use color theory judiciously. Warm colors like red, orange, and yellow draw the eye and create energy, while cool colors like blue, green, and lavender promote relaxation. Sculpted green forms often dominate this particular style. Adding vertical elements, like trellises with climbing roses or wisteria, can elevate the design and add a sense of depth. When it comes to smell, fragrant plants can be subtly woven in to create an atmosphere that soothes and uplifts. Lavender, jasmine, and gardenias are classic choices for their calming scents, while herbs like mint, basil, and thyme add a refreshing aroma. For a unique touch, consider night-blooming flowers like moonflowers or evening primrose, which release their fragrance at dusk, adding a magical quality to evening gatherings in the garden. Sound is an often underutilized element in garden design. The gentle trickle of a water feature, such as a fountain or small pond, can create a calming backdrop. Wind chimes made of bamboo, metal, or even glass add a melodic quality as they sway in the breeze. For a more immersive auditory experience, plant vegetation that attracts birds, like berry bushes or sunflowers, and install bird feeders or bird baths to encourage their presence. The sound of sprinklers on the perfect lawn also contributes to the ambience. Incorporating touch into your garden design adds another layer of engagement. Choose plants with interesting textures, like the velvety leaves of lamb's ear or the spiky fronds of ferns. Contrast these with the dense, smooth texture of the meticulously clipped hedges and spheres. Use materials like smooth river stones, rough bark, or soft moss in pathways or decorative features to create a tactile experience. Even outdoor furniture can play a role. Choose seating with cushions made from natural fabrics or rustic wooden finishes for added warmth and comfort. Finally, let's talk about taste. A garden oasis can double as a source of fresh, delicious ingredients. Plant a mix of culinary herbs, fruits, and vegetables to bring your garden to life in a literal sense. Imagine stepping outside to pick fresh basil for a homemade pesto, or harvesting ripe tomatoes and cucumbers for a refreshing summer salad. Berry bushes, citrus trees, and even edible flowers like nasturtiums or pansies can add both beauty and flavor to your outdoor space. Another area worth exploring is seasonal adaptability. A well-designed garden should remain beautiful and functional throughout the year, offering something unique in every season. In spring, focus on early bloomers like daffodils, tulips, and crocuses. These flowers bring vibrant color to your garden after the dullness of winter. Pair them with shrubs like forsythia or magnolia, which produce striking blossoms. Spring is also an excellent time to refresh your garden beds and begin the lawn care routine with compost or mulch to prepare for the growing season ahead. Summer is all about lush greenery and bold, colorful blooms. Roses, hydrangeas, and sunflowers thrive during this time, creating a vibrant display. Incorporate shade structures like pergolas or umbrellas to make the space comfortable during hot days, and consider adding outdoor fans or misters for cooling. Summer is also the season for outdoor gatherings, so ensure your seating areas are well equipped with comfortable furniture and decorative cushions. The sculpted green forms look particularly sharp against the summer sky. In autumn, the focus shifts to warm, earthy tones. Chrysanthemums, asters, and ornamental grasses can bring rich reds, oranges, and yellows to your garden. Add decorative elements like pumpkins, hay bales, or lanterns to celebrate the season. Autumn is also a great time to plant bulbs for spring, ensuring your garden is ready to bloom when the weather warms up again. Winter, though often overlooked, can be just as beautiful as the other seasons. Evergreens like pine, spruce, and holly provide structure and color when other plants have gone dormant. Add interest with plants that have unique bark, like birch or red-twig dogwood, or those that produce berries, like winterberry. The architectural shapes of the curved hedges and spherical topiaries become the undisputed stars of the winter garden. String lights and candles can add warmth and charm, transforming your garden into a magical winter wonderland. Thank you for joining us today on Concept with Justin. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your friends. And of course, subscribe to Concept with Justin for more design inspiration. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.